What's up guys, Faris here. Today I want to talk about something that I've been holding on to for a while, and I think now is the right time to finally just talk about it. And that is, kind of got to take you back for a second here. It is, when I was growing up, when y'all were growing up, you have examples in your life, and you have a lot of people telling you how someone should go about living. You go to high school, you go to college, maybe trade school, and you get yourself a job. You work that job, maybe climb the corporate ladder, and then you go on and retire 40 years later. I knew from a very young age that this is not the life that I ever wanted to live. I don't know if it's because I was just stubborn and I didn't want to have somebody, like, you have a boss. Maybe I didn't want to have a boss kind of controlling over my life for the next 40 years of it, where if I wanted to go on vacation, I had to ask them. If I wanted a day off, a sick day, I had to put it by them. They told me when I had to come into work, when I had to stay until work, and I couldn't leave. Sometimes you can't even clock out for lunch. You have to bring your own lunch. If you clock out, you got to stay 30 minutes later. Whatever it may be, I just didn't want to have that person that I felt would be ruling over my life. I knew I was just always going to want to be self-employed. And that's actually a big reason why I got into software development, because if I knew the potential, if I played my cards right, the potential of being able to work for myself from anywhere, make good money while I'm doing it. Financial and location independence. And now I didn't think that YouTube would be the route that actually got me there, but it did. And as of the second half of 2019, I'm now self-employed. What that means for the channel, I'll get into in a couple minutes, but the reason I kept this a secret for however many months it's been is because I didn't want to have the expectation from y'all to be creating more videos. I've seen other YouTubers, they kind of go into, I'm going to start creating twice the amount of videos, and some of them actually don't end up doing it. And I knew I was going to be one of those YouTubers. I was going to be one that, if I were to come out with it, I'm going to be making twice the amount of videos now. I wasn't going to do that. I knew myself better than that. I knew, because here's the thing. The past 7 years, with the exception of 2 semesters, I've worked 2 to 3 jobs simultaneously. And for half that time, these past 2 years, I've been doing YouTube. So what it would be like is I'd be spending 8, 10, 12 hours plus in a given day on work or school or both. And I'll come home at 5 or 6 p.m. and then I'll get to work in planning a video, recording a video, editing a video up until 12 a.m., 1 a.m., sometimes even till 3 a.m. I'll wake up at 7 a.m. and do it all again the next day. Now, this wasn't the same hours the whole entire time, but that was the gist of it. Maximum work, minimum sleep. Not a very healthy lifestyle to live, but I knew there were goals that I had set out for myself that I need to reach. I knew I'd want to break from all that. I knew I would take a second, sit back, figure out this whole personal life balance to work life balance thing now that everything's simplified. One job, one personal life. That's exactly what I did. I just kind of took a step back, maintained this similar amount of videos that I've been uploading, and figured out that balance. I'm not saying I figured it out to this day, but it's definitely a lot better than it was a year ago. And then I decided to go on and start another company and give myself 2 jobs again, so what the hell do I know? You know what? No. The thing is, I started that other company because I wanted to improve the security of being self-employed. Everything that I'm doing right now is on YouTube or via YouTube. There's separate revenue streams that go into YouTube, like affiliate links and AdSense and things of that nature, but I didn't have anything of my own, which is why I started my coffee company. And I know y'all know this by now, at least most of y'all, is that I started my own coffee company. It is First Supply Coffee. And since this video is all about me just telling y'all how I'm self-employed and trying to just lay out the whole entire story, for all you coffee lovers out there, let me just give you this. Here at First Supply Coffee, we have one single blend. It is a medium roast with tasting notes of red fruits and baker's chocolate and cola. Oh, and it tastes so good. And 50% of the beans are from Guatemala, 50% of the beans are from Peru, and it is the best coffee I've ever had. And I'm not just saying this. I wouldn't just be saying this, because the whole reason I chose this blend, this coffee, to be the first and, for right now, only coffee blend that First Supply Coffee sells is because it is the best coffee I've ever tried. So if you're a coffee lover, I'm gonna leave a link in the top of the description to firstsupplycoffee.com. Get yourself a bag of coffee. You won't regret it. All of this brings us to the beginning. Why I started coding, why I decided to pursue a computer science degree, and why 3 years after doing those two, I started my YouTube channel. I told y'all I'd say it again. I started coding out of the pure desire to learn how to create things with code. I continued coding out of the pure enjoyment I got from creating things with code, all while knowing that I was able to, if I played my cards right, set up myself where I'm self-employed, work for myself, financially independent, and I could do it from anywhere in the world, location independence. So I worked through my first few years of college, get some internships, and I began building my own apps. I wanted to build the next big thing, go figure. But I soon realized that there's no point in building something if nobody sees it. As the old saying goes, you can have the best product in the world, but if nobody knows about it, what does it matter? So that led to the question, what's my marketing plan? As your average millennial, I figured that social media was going to be the way to go. Just getting in front of audiences for whatever niche my application would be, but I didn't have thousands of dollars to pay influencers. I had more time than money, so I decided to make my own YouTube channel with a single goal in mind. And that was to act as a marketing venue for my application to the end user. I was going to document the process, build a little bit of buzz, a little bit of hype, and then boom, I was going to launch the application and millions would download it, right? Hindsight, and that's a little bit naive to think that was the case, but that was my plan. I knew that you could make money on YouTube through advertisements and things of that nature, but that was always secondary. The primary goal was to get in front of as many people as possible to get them to download the app that I have yet to build. This app idea, turning into a business and using YouTube as a marketing venue, that was my way to become self-employed. But as work and school began to take over, this dream, it became a little less plausible. I didn't have time to build my app, but I did have time to keep making YouTube videos, because along the way, I realized just how much I enjoyed making these YouTube videos. And while the ideal situation was for me to be able to code all the time and make YouTube videos all the time, it just wasn't possible. I needed to do school, I needed to make money, internships, jobs, school, that was priority. And the fact of the matter is, I could spend all that time that I spent making the YouTube videos, creating the app, but what's the point in creating the app? Because that is my marketing venue. I don't have anywhere to market it. If I don't spend any time making the YouTube videos, spend all my time coding, doesn't matter. But I could make those YouTube videos because I saw how much I enjoyed it, and then that light at the end of the tunnel is like, you can actually make money doing this. And if I made money doing this, then I could go ahead and start making my apps. This YouTube channel could fund my life, and all I could do is just spend all my time making YouTube videos and all my time coding applications, coding my own projects. That is the dream. So that's what I did. In college, I focused on schoolwork. So mind you, I was still coding. It was computer science, internships, and YouTube. In a perfect world, everything would fall into place once I graduated college. Computer science degree, self-employed YouTuber, and I could spend the rest of my time building the app into a business to set up my family for life. But things tend not to work out perfectly. When the time came, my YouTube channel wasn't making enough money. It wasn't making a living salary, so what I had to do? Well, like everybody else who graduated college, I needed to get a job. And this job ended up being a full-stack software engineering position at a small startup. And as I worked that job, I continued to do YouTube. And in hindsight, to be honest with you, this not working out perfectly was probably one of the best things to happen to me, because I've learned so much at that job that never would have known if I were to just work for myself. Regarding code, half the things I know, I wouldn't know because I wouldn't have had that job. I wouldn't understand Agile as I do now. I wouldn't understand like anything that has to do with the professional software development environment if it wasn't for that job. If everything worked out perfectly, where I graduated from college and YouTube was able to sustain my life, I wouldn't even be close to the developer that I am today. So, retrospectively looking at it, I'm grateful that that's how everything turned out. Throughout my time working at this job, 2018 came, 2019 came, in those 2 years, my YouTube channel was growing at a rather rapid rate, at least for me. I was getting more subscribers every month than ever. more views than ever, more opportunities hit my email that I knew what to do with. And I quickly was in a place where I was making more money doing this whole YouTube thing than I was being a software engineer. So I wanted to see how consistent this stayed. A couple months later, stayed consistent, even grew a little bit, and well, I decided to put in my 2 weeks and finally fulfill that dream of, being self-employed. But I say given my 2 weeks, it's with an asterisk. With how the owner in this company and this team had treated me, and I was on this contract with him that it took a little bit for me to get onto the contract. I didn't want to just leave him high and dry. Hey, 2 weeks, I'm out of here. Good luck replacing me, because they already had secured the funds for my position on this contract. I want to make sure that I was as polite as possible because, like I said, of all they've done for me. So I said, look, I'm on your timeline. I'm going to get out of here, but on your time. However long it takes you to find my replacement without stressing you out too much, I'm okay with it. So it was actually just 3 weeks had gone by, brought in my replacement. I was actually in the interview for my replacement, and then, hey, I was out on my own of conquering this dream I've had for years of being my own boss. And about this whole job, here's the kicker. That was the absolute dream job for me. Smaller company, good pay, good benefits. I mean, that's all fine and dandy, but I was able to come in when I wanted, leave when I wanted, given I got all my work done, right? If I wanted to leave early, I would just get there earlier. If I wanted to sleep in, I would just stay a little bit later. If I wanted to go out for lunch, I didn't have to punch a card and clock out for lunch or put it into toggle. It wasn't that big of a deal. Not to mention the work was fulfilling, the atmosphere was supportive, and I learned more than I'd ever learned before, especially in the realm of software development. It was the perfect job for me, but it was the perfect job. I still knew always that I wanted to be able to work for myself, so that's the leap I took. Now what that means for the channel, only time will tell there. But I do know right now, I'm doing it. Moving forward, my days will consist of creating YouTube videos and coding my own projects with just a previous change from my former dream. I'm not going to be creating that app and turning it into a business to, build that up. Maybe sometime in the future, but that's not my plan right now. What I want to do is focus on my YouTube videos and focus on coding my own projects, get back to what I used to do in college, and that was artificial intelligence programming. That was the most fulfilling work, most fun work that I have ever done, just because of these problems that you're able to solve and the things that you're able to make computers do is unlike anything else. But this time I'm doing it at a whole new level in a whole new different way. I'm not focusing on putting out as many videos as possible. This actually may mean more time coding, less time, let's say less videos uploaded, similar amount of time creating the videos, mind you, but much more production value and a much more entertaining video, just less frequently. I just have a few more videos I want to get done, and then it's time. Your support in watching these videos and sharing them with your friends, as well as your new support for First Supply Coffee, that's what's allowed me to be able to do this. And you just gotta believe it right now when I say it, is that these videos that I will be making, these are the videos y'all been asking for. These are the videos y'all want to see. You don't want to see these tips and trick videos I've been making for the past few months. These are the videos you want to see. And as long as I get your continued support, I'll be able to make the videos that I really want to make, and y'all will receive the videos that y'all really want to see.